Bonsoir à tout le monde. Madame Larissa Ratsiraka, présidente du Rotary Club, Ivandry Antananarivo, pour l'an 2002-2021. Excellences les ambassadeurs, le docteur Charlotte, coordonnatrice des Systèmes Unis à Madagascar, chef d'organisation internationale, honorables invités, les gouverneurs de le district pour le Rotary Club. Permettez-moi tout d'abord de remercier Madame Larissa Ratsiraka pour son grand engagement à organiser les événements marquant les célébrations de la Journée Mandela en commençant par le don de paniers de nourritures le 18 juillet dernier au Centre Sœur Annick, puis l'organisation de cuisine communautaire pour 800 personnes ce juillet 25 2020 dans un quartier d'Ivandry soutenu par les Bijouterie Pala et finalement pour cette vidéoconférence d'aujourd'hui. Nous voyons le succès de votre leadership à travers les événements et même dans les circonstances actuelles du COVID-19. Vous avez réussi à impliquer de nombreuses organisations dans une court laps de temps. Ce fut en effet l'une des expériences positives pour nous de travailler avec les Rotary Club et de ne pas nous sentir impuissantes ou craintifs pendant l'une des périodes les plus difficiles de l'histoire récente. En novembre 2009, l'Assemblée générale des Nations Unies a adopté une résolution reconnaissant le 18 juillet, l'anniversaire de Nelson Mandela, comme une journée de solidarité internationale. La Fondation Nelson Mandela a lancé un appel de 67 minutes de solidarité en cette journée pour aider les autres et l'Afrique du Sud. Le mois de juillet est un mois dédié à Nelson Mandela. Les représentants des familles des Nations Unies à Madagascar ont également apporté leur soutien visible à ces activités. Je remercie la coordonnatrice des Nations Unies, le docteur Charlotte pour son soutien. Aujourd'hui, plus que jamais, la solidarité avec ceux qui n'ont besoin ont un plus grand acte altruiste. Cela vaut non seulement pour les individus, mais aussi les pays, en particulier les moins capables de faire face à la pandémie de COVID-19. Allow me to change to English for the last part of the speech. In a foreword by Kofi Annan, former Secretary General of the United Nations, to a book marking the 85th birthday of Nelson Mandela, with the title Nelson Mandela from Freedom to the Future, Tributes and Speeches. Kofi Annan writes, and I quote, "If just one small part of what he, Mandela, sought to achieve for his fellow human beings is translated into reality, if we live up to just one fraction of the standards he set for himself, then Africa and the world will be a far, far better place," end quote. Many writers, politicians, poets, musicians, and artists have given expression to these sentiments in many ways. For me, growing up from a village less than 100 kilometers from his birthplace, hearing about the man, that's knowing him without knowing him, because the mention of the name Nelson Mandela would immediately land you in prison. And finally, meeting the man himself has been a life treasure. I would not have met him if I had not joined the struggle for which he dedicated his life. Nelson Mandela was physically an imposing figure, though gentle and mellowed with years. He never liked attempts to separate him from his people and pamper him with glory. He was very time conscious, a trait he developed while still fighting for freedom before his arrest. And he was a true visionary and avoided being trapped in the anger of immediate developments. The apartheid regime had in its calculation a program to prove that Nelson Mandela would fail in his efforts to unite and lead his people to freedom, even when they released him. As part of this program, South Africa experienced the largest spike in violence following his release, and this culminated in the cold-blooded murder of Chris Hani, a leader of the ANC and the Communist Party, on 10th April 1993. South Africa was on the brink of racial conflict following this assassination, and only Nelson Mandela, even though not yet elected president, could address the divided nation. The country awaited holding its breath. Instead of calling for revenge, he said, the current apartheid regime had lost its ability to govern South Africa, and elections must be held as soon as possible for a legitimate government to take over. Thus, a date for elections was set for 12 months later, which saw the historic elections held in April 1994. In conclusion, Nelson Mandela was human and felt pain, as Graça Marcel, his widow, once indicated. Though Mandela successfully hid this from most people, he suffered quietly with dignity the pain of not having been there to bury his mother and his son when they died. The pain of not being able to protect Winnie Mandela at the most difficult times in her life. And finally, the pain of not being there to raise his children. True to himself, he channeled this pain by highlighting the plight of all children in need. It is therefore very painful indeed to have his last-born daughter, Ambassador Zinzi Mandela, pass away on 13 July 2020, a few days before we celebrate Nelson Mandela's birthday. I thank you.